If you're aware that you are playing your best game ever as you're playing it, that's when you fuck it up.
It's choking at the finish line. It's realizing those immortal finish lines that just go, and as long as you trust that it's being recorded, the proof's there.
Yeah.
But if I see it coming, and I see that end zone coming,
Yeah.
what do?
Yeah.
Get a little tight, a little self-conscious.
Eisenhower had this thing about how plans are worthless, but planning is everything.
Hey, man.
You do all the prep, you do all the thinking about it, and then you probably don't use one fucking bit of it.
When I'm doing my best work, I show up with copious amounts. Like a nut. And I get there and I'm like, well, duh, not bringing that script to set anymore. And do I go back and go, oh, you could have done? Yeah, but because I wasn't adhering to that or going back, hang on a second, let me look at my notes, I found another magic trick along the way. Because I was in the moment. I wasn't going, hang on a second, let me check my notes to make sure. There's some speeches everywhere. I'm like, dude, don't go off script. Yeah, but you're going to be reading instead of going, engaging.
Yeah.
And I have times where I'm like, I don't care. That's going to be printed. And then when it's printed, I want it to be exactly what is said here. So maybe I won't be the best performing orator, but what will live on after will be exactly what I meant to say. 10, 9, 8, leaving children to follow dream. Lift off. I grew up only knowing sort of the courage of the persistence. You're resilient, endure, get up, dust yourself off, go. I honestly think I'd written myself a one-way ticket out of Hollywood. People close to me, basically almost everybody besides my wife, was like, what is your major malfunction, little brother?
By not trying to play the game, there is no risk of failure.
I'm rolling the dice, I'm sticking with it. I was feeling like my work was more vital than my life. What's better, 8 big risks in life, sin once, miss the mark once, but get 7, achieve 7 out of 8, or take 100 risks and achieve 8 of them. My hunch is that if there's a God, he's saying, go for the 100 and get 8, rather than 8 and get 7. If you're not taking enough risk to sin or miss the mark, which is what sin means, to fail, then what are you doing? Don't go back with even money. Go back with the safe bets. If you get up and get the courage to keep on going every time and get up and dust yourself off, you make the same mistakes each time around because you never backed up to have what I've now learned and still learning is the courage to go, no, I'm gonna let some people pass me in the race right now because I'm gonna look at why I keep stepping in that damn same pothole and twisting my ankle, the same spot. Sacrifice a plastic ring today for a gold crown tomorrow. Sacrifice something today for more freedom tomorrow. Sacrifice something today for a possible healthier future for your kids. Well, if you don't have the hope or believe in something, you're gonna definitely gotta remain where you are. And if you have hope and faith in something, I'm not saying it's 100% get out of jail, you're gonna absolutely get out, but you got the best chance to. The script flipped on me 5 years ago. I felt like I was going through the motions more in my life, but I was really getting major life experiences and through my work. And I had the same question. I was like, well, let's see where I can challenge myself more in the documentary, the one life I'm living, rather than the characters I'm going to play that somebody else wrote, someone else directed, someone else is lensing through their camera and editing. What are we doing on this one take that we've had since the day we were born and will be cut the day we die? Why are you throwing a jackknife in this stuff? You're tripping yourself running downhill, man. You did it. I had my wife and myself to remind myself of that 4 a.m. clarity that I had in tears when I was like, no, I'm rolling the dice. I'm sticking with it. And yeah, man, I did think I wrote myself a ticket out of Hollywood. I did look at other vocations, become a teacher, a wildlife guide. I seriously looked at those things. But over time, and it was about 20 months, it was gone long enough, had found anonymity enough, it was not in your living room in a theater in a rom-com, you didn't see me on a beach shirtless. Where is he? And then I think I told you the story, turning down the $14.5 million offer made people go, oh shit, what's he up to? You don't just step out of Hollywood and enter, unless you turn that down because you got a plan. You got somewhere you want to go. And I think that made me more attractive as a new novel idea. But that was, that risk I think it's fair to say that took a fair amount of courage from me.
What virtue is there in balance if there was no such thing as imbalance to fight against?
Yeah. I wish more people, I'm going to flip the word, were more involved with themselves.
Embrace your Icarus.
Instead of self-involved, that has a bad term. I wish people were more involved with themselves.
Yeah.
I think that's where we're more deficient. Believe in yourself or invest in yourself. Do more of what you can to be great at a craft or a vocation or to get what you want. I sit here with a life where I have the luxury to project, to ask myself and ask others, no, make a sacrifice today. Sacrifice a plastic ring today for a gold crown tomorrow. Sacrifice something today for more freedom tomorrow. Sacrifice something today for a possible healthier future for your kids. I understand that's a luxurious position. I'm not going to apologize that I'm in it, but I understand to someone in misery, they're going, good for you, man. I'm trying to feed family tonight. I'm not thinking past that. I can't think past that. What do you ask them to do? Yeah, my indirect thing I would say and understand is, well, if you don't have the hope or believe in something, you're definitely going to remain where you are. And if you have hope and faith in something, I'm not saying it's 100% get out of jail. You're going to absolutely get out, but you got the best chance to. Amen. Kumbaya. I get it. I don't think that's how peace is coming. I think that's a great place to hope for, but to get there or closer to there is going to take punk rock or rage. It's going to take getting wild. It's not going to be necessarily logical. It's not going to be tame. It's not going to be whispered, I don't think. No emotion gets more shit done than rage. For good or for bad. Mm-hmm. Seems like rage really moves the needle. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I think that emotion and that approach shouldn't be thrown out when you're talking about a pursuit of peace or contentment. I think it takes sweat equity. It will take blood being drawn. I don't believe that we're as evolved enough species to just behave as we intellectually can agree we should be. I don't see it happening. We can all agree with it. In an open forum, enough of us go back on our own and that ain't what we're doing. You know? It's a good idea. But boy, when we're cornered and what we got's being possibly trespassed on, be very primal.
Some lines need to be drawn.
I believe so.
Model the rise, not the result.
I like that.
Model the rise, not the result, because the result is where they're at now. Do not ask Warren Buffett about how long he spends reading the newspaper and poring over old books. That guy was a hustler. He was a hustler when he was young. What did you do when you were at the stage that I am at? Not what do you do now? Right. Because I want to get to where you are. That means I don't do what you do now. Right. I do what you did to get that.
Don't study the result. What was the person doing when they got there? And everybody who's achieved something great was some sort of outlaw.
Yep.
Some sort of hustler. Out of balance, out of whack, dark times. Whoa. Still wakes up in the middle of the night and glad they're wearing a mouth guard because they'd have chipped all their teeth with that fucking nightmare they were having about those things they did back then. Okay. I'm one of those.
Without complacency, trust that time is on your side.
Yep.
What do you mean there?
Yeah, man. I'm get a header behind it. And I can get in a rush. And I haven't found... Look, and I know how to hustle, and let's go. The clock's ticking. We're all behind. All hands on deck. We got to bust ass. No time for pause. There's no sleep, no nothing. Get the caffeine out. Let's go. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we got to do that. But that is usually because an unforeseen circumstance has happened, that there's a crisis we got to deal with, or we've procrastinated, and I put myself in that position where we got to cram. Mm-hmm. But it's not those two circumstances. We got to watch ourselves getting ahead of time. And it's on your side. It's a little what I mean about the living longer and living more quality. Time's on our side. And we're forced to think and feel, especially today with how fast things move, that more productivity, faster pace, more information, faster pace, it's better. We're ahead of time a lot. But time's still moving at the same speed. And they're not given more than 24 hours a day, even though me, like a lot of people, are looking for more. There's not any more unless you just want to change your workday. And some people do. Me, I need my 9.5 hours sleep. If I want to say I'm getting 4 hours sleep and get 5.5 hours more of a workday to be more productive, I would, but I'm not making that trade-off. It's on our side. It's the Lego set, man. And you sit there and you get in a rush, you don't read the directions, you get to the end and you've got 12 pieces left, and you're like, shit. Because you got in a hurry. You got ahead of time. Instead of just that feeling of, I've checked out what I need to do and it's all adding up and this thing's built right and the foundation's right, and boom, there's the last piece, it fits. Voila, it was with time. Time's on our side. It's not an enemy. The end, death is not the enemy. I do believe that part of, not in a rush to get there, and we want to stave it off sometimes, and that it can be a screaming fight, and partially denial can help us get there. I understand that, but still, it's on our side. It's going to happen. And since it's going to happen, and that's non-negotiable, might as well go, well, I'm not going to rush to try and make more of it than there is. I want to try and spend the time I got as well as I can to produce, succeed, achieve, well, whatever those things are, but also at a pace that I'm me, that I like to dance to. I like the give and the take. I like the reverb. I like the cause and effect of how things are happening at this pace. I overthink a lot. And when I've heard myself back, I'm like going, dude, you're kind of seeing so much significance that none of that shit's significant. Every detailed frame you're giving it a proper name.
You've got this great line where you say, so many people are obsessed with how to live longer instead of how to live better. How do you come to think about that?
I'm for it, the longevity. I'm for it. But in the pursuit of it, are we measuring quality of life along the way? Some people aren't. And I personally don't want to have the highest number, but then go, that wasn't any fun, or I didn't enjoy that, or that sucked. Profit measures quality with the quantity. So I'm saying real success is when you have profit. Well, really great longevity would be for those quality years, quality time left in this life. I also say that because while I'm not looking forward to it, I'm not really afraid of death or dying. I'm not looking forward to it. I'm shaking my boots if I'm face to face with that great white. You know what I mean? I'm not looking forward to it, but I see it as obviously it's inevitable, and obviously I personally see it as hopefully a comma, not a period. So tomorrow is not today's measurement when the misery is bad enough, right? These people don't have to the suffering consideration. It's a privilege, man. I'm trying to put food on the table right now. I'm paying my rent tonight. You want to talk to me about investing in my future? And I say, and that's part of what faith and religion are for. To help those in misery hang on to a hope that will most likely not be served them in this life. To sell them belief and faith that they will be served in the next. And what if there is nothing there, man? What if there's nothing to hope for? What if there's no next? I don't know. But either way, in misery here or without a heaven there, not having any hope or faith in anything is a certain way to remain where you are forever. But if you can find something that you can keep going, something that no matter how small to look forward to and continually have faith in and chase, well, then your life here is going to be better now, heaven or not. Let's go to the dream. Let's flip that script. I always have gone from nonfiction to say, let's make that the dream. Just keep living. Art emulates life. Let's go to dreams. Let's go to poems, prayers. These are pursuits of an ideal beauty. These are in between the lines. This is in between the math. This is not academic. This is not intellectual. These are ideals that we pursue, the beginner's mind that we have as a child before we know worse. And I don't want to be ignorant. I don't want to be foolishly optimistic. Let's look to those and believe that we can still make those real. I grew up only knowing sort of the courage of the persistence. Be resilient, endure, get up, dust yourself off, go. The problem with that, the Achilles heel with that is if you get up and You have the courage to keep on going every time and get up and dust yourself off. You make the same mistakes each time around because you never backed up. To have what I've now learned and still learning is the courage to go, no, I'm going to let some people pass me in the race right now because I'm going to look at why I keep stepping in that damn same pothole and twisting my ankle, the same spot. Why I keep failing when I try to get that next spot in this relationship.
There is a unique sort of circle of hell that is reserved for when you keep on making the same mistake over and over again. That you've done it, you've had to pay the penance, say that you're sorry, and then arrive straight back at the same place.
Yeah. I think there's a hell in the mirror. Then I think it can become a living hell. Like I got that poem in there, Daymares.
I love that one.
I do too. You know, nightmares suck, but at least you wake up. And they're over. It's the ones that stick with you when you wake up and go through your day that are right there. Those are the ones. That's the living hell.
Yeah.
I think that's what you're talking about. And you repeat offend enough, word gets out. The circles gets out. People doubt you. On your approach, they're like, yeah, but don't do this for this guy. I mean, all of a sudden, you're going places and you got to look over your shoulder. You got to see who's there that I didn't pay back. Who do I owe? What bridge did I burn? What person did I betray to get where I am? That's a life. That's a living hell.
In the modern world, you can move from city to city. At least you can, in some regard, leave your reputation behind. However, if you lose your reputation with yourself, if you no longer trust you, I don't keep my own word. I know that I'm not a trustworthy person. I keep making promises to myself and to other people, and I keep on breaking them. I keep doing something that hurts other people or the same person. They don't trust me anymore, and I don't trust me anymore.
The rom-com time, that was definitely me doing the work I was doing and only being able to do the work I was doing and offer the roles I was getting in the rom-coms was eating at me. Because I felt like life is good, man. I make good money. Feel like I can roll out of bed and do one of these tomorrow morning. Well, that's cool. I'm the go-to guy for this. I was countered by, I had met Camilla, fallen in love. She's now pregnant with her first child. My life was extremely vital, and I was alive, cried harder, laughed louder, felt more joy, all those things. But my work was like, all right. And I was like, well, I wish my work could be as challenging or as vital as my life. And I remember looking in the mirror going, well, be glad right now. Appreciate that it's not the other way around. But can I have my work challenge my lifestyle in this vitality? Yeah, if I do some dramas I want to do, well, those aren't coming. All right, if I can't do what I want to do, let me quit doing what I was doing. Now that was, it was definitely courageous. I did honestly think I'd written myself a one-way ticket out of Hollywood. People close to me, basically almost everybody besides my wife was like, what is your major malfunction, little brother?
You got it made.
Why are you throwing a jackknife in this stuff? You're tripping yourself running downhill, man. You did it. I had my wife and myself to remind myself of that 4 a.m. clarity that I had in tears when I was like, no, I'm rolling the dice. I'm sticking with it. Yeah, man. I did think I wrote myself a ticket out of Hollywood. I did look at other vocations, become a teacher, a wildlife guide. I seriously looked at those things. But over time, and it was about 20 months, it was gone long enough, had found anonymity enough, was not in your living room in a theater in a rom-com. You didn't see me on a beach shirtless. Where is he? Turning down the $14.5 million offer. Many people go, oh shit, what's he up to? You don't just step out of Hollywood and enter unless you turn that down because you got a plan. You got somewhere you want to go. And I think that made me more attractive as a new novel idea. But that was, that risk took it. I think it's fair to say that took a fair amount of courage from me.
For a lot of people, their work feels more vital than their life.
Yeah.
Is that a shiny object mirage that they need to rid themselves of?
If you can and you're willing to, yeah. Look, that's part of why I started writing. But script flipped on me 5 years ago. I was feeling like my work was more vital than my life. I felt like I was going through the motions more in my life, but I was really getting major life experiences through my work. And so that was a challenge to myself, which led to the writing, which was a more direct experience. Can I put a word down without, it's my script, and without my performance on it, without music, without pictures. So that was an inward journey that I'm still on. Yes, confidence, identity, testing it out, and it can work. Confidence to go, I'm gonna try and pull this off. Maybe get away with it, maybe it won't work. Pulling things off. And I have an innate ability for something that I believe I have the innate ability. And I learned the reason behind that instinct and how to where's the right time, timing. Oh, and it'll work, I think, right here. Who's the audience I'm talking to? Oh, yeah, I'm gonna make a plan for that sell, if it's all sales, or that transaction, or whatever it is, and bam, it hits, and it lands like I wanted it to. Dogs, damn it, was that deja vu? It happened. That's how I saw it. I get confidence from that. I don't think it's what the mystics meant when they were like, be disattached. I think it meant go embrace, but for highs and lows and pains and pleasures, understand that those outward things are not the things to be attached to for your own identity. It's got to be inward first. Enjoy those, partake, but don't become attached to those for your measure.
Without complacency, trust that time is on your side.
Yep.
What do you mean there?
Yeah, man. Don't get ahead or behind it. And I can get in a rush. Look, and I know how to hustle, and let's go. The clock's ticking. We're all behind. All hands on deck. We got to bust ass. No time for pause. There's no sleep, no nothing. Get the caffeine out. Let's go. Sometimes we got to do that. But that is usually because an unforeseen circumstance has happened, that there's a crisis we got to deal with, or we've procrastinated and I put myself in that position where we got to cram. But it's not those two circumstances. We got to watch ourselves getting ahead of time. And it's on your side. It's a little what I mean about the living longer and living more quality. Time's on our side. And we're forced to think and feel, especially today with how fast things move, that more productivity, faster pace, more information, faster pace, it's better. We're ahead of time a lot. But time's still moving at the same speed. And they're not given more than 24 hours a day, even though me, like a lot of people, are looking for more. There's not any more unless you just want to change your work day. And some people do. Me, I need my 9.5 hours sleep. If I want to say I'm getting 4 hours sleep and get 5.5 hours more of a work day to be more productive, I would, but I'm not making that trade-off. It's on our side. And when we're feeling like we're dancing with time, I know I'm usually getting more done at the same pace. It's the John Wooden, a great basketball coach for UCLA. Be quick, but don't be in a hurry. That was his note to his basketball players. It's like, be quick, but don't be in a hurry. You will miss things. You know, it's the Lego set, man. And you sit there and you get in a rush. You don't read the directions. You get to the end and you've got 12 pieces left. And you're like, shit. Because you got in a hurry. You got ahead of time. Instead of just that feeling of, I've checked out what I need to do and it's all adding up and this thing's built right and the foundation right, and boom, there's the last piece that fits. Voila. It was with time. Time's on our side. It's not an enemy. The end. Death is not the enemy. I do believe that part of, not in a rush to get there, and we want to stave it off sometimes, and that it can be a screaming fight, and partially denial can help us get there. I understand that, but still, it's on our side. It's going to happen. And since it's going to happen, and that's non-negotiable, might as well go, well, I'm not going to rush to try and make more of it than there is. I want to try and spend the time I got as well as I can, produce, succeed, achieve, well, whatever those things are, but also at a pace that I'm me, that I like to dance to. I like the give and the take. I like the reverb. I like the cause and effect of how things are happening at this pace. How are we orienting ourselves now since time is speeding up so much faster with AI? I want to ask you this with AI, and I mean this is an objective question. With AI, with all these podcasts, with all these wealth of information that people can get at all times, and no one's listening to music anymore, they're listening to everybody talk about this and reading up on this, and they're finding out the answers in 10 seconds that would have taken them 10 days to get before. Do people sound smarter to you?
No.
Me neither. They don't sound dumber. I do think, so we're talking about if everything's significant, nothing's significant at all. I do think that I talk to people that feel like they're hyperly punching their information absolutely great, just flushing out. But I'm going, oh, dude, what was the theme there? Did you have a bass guitar in your band? You need a bass guitar, or at least somebody on percussion, hold it down, because I didn't hear the theme. I didn't hear the thread. It was digits. Where was the soul in that story? Which goes back to the quality with the quantity, the quantity of information, but can we have the soul in it? To where, I hear the rhyme. There's rhyme to those digits. There's rhyme to those facts. Oh, I see how they add up. Oh, but what if you put them in this order? They add up to another thing. Or actually, they may add up to the same damn thing. Interesting. Now I've got a rhyme. Now there's a song. That happens when time's on your side and you're looking at it without complacency. Like, start now. That doesn't mean time's on my side. Yeah, dude. Inshallah. When it happens, it'll happen. No, I'm like, wake up. Clock's ticking. It's on your side. Now just move with it. Dance with it. Put some soul with the facts.
So I move out to Hollywood. I did Dazed Confused the summer of 92. I go back and graduate from University of Texas at Austin in 93. I do a quick stint in this Texas Chainsaw Massacre film. And then I drive out with my U-Haul and $2,000 to sleep on the couch of that guy that I met in the bar 2 years prior, who cast me my first job. $2,000. I know I'm sleeping on his couch, not paying rent, but $2,000 is going to go pretty quickly. And I'm starting to, after about 2 weeks, I'm going, hey, Don, man, could you give me a meeting with an agent? Man, I need to get an agent. I need to get a job. And he snaps at me, cusses me out and tells me, look, this town smells needy. You're done. What you need to do is get the hell out of here and go do something with your buds and forget about Hollywood and what you think you need. Anyway, I did. I took off with my two buddies with what little money we had, and we motorcycled through Europe for 6 weeks. Well, by the time I got back, I forgot all about needing an agent or, I need to get a part. I just had great life experience for 6 weeks. And so he then brings it up about a week after I'm back and goes, you're ready. I go, for what? And he goes, tomorrow morning we got the meeting with the agent. I'm like, oh, great. He was right on the money, because I was able to go into that meeting and be myself, be involved in that meeting, and not be so impressed that I got that meeting. You know, it's a trick, but it works in our life. I mean, sometimes if something is number one on our list and we've got to have it, we need it. A lot of times we don't get it. Think about it, whether it's that girl or whether it's that friend or whatever it is, man, if you make them the number one thing in your life, they're gonna go like, well, what else did you have going before you came to me? You know what I mean? I want somebody who had their shit together before they came to me a little bit. If I'm your everything, then I'm probably, a lot of times people will go, or situations will say, no, we don't want you because you need us too bad. Something about taking that trip to Germany got that need out of my mind, and the idea of getting a job or an agent in Hollywood became subliminally number 2 on my list of priorities. Just by sheer that I kind of forgotten about it. It wasn't thinking about it all the time. Well, that allowed me to relax, to be involved in a meeting with an agent where they accepted me, to then go out on auditions and actually get them, because I was like, I really want this, but I don't need it. And there's a big difference. And Hollywood is in fame. There's a game in Hollywood. It is an affair. It's not necessarily a marriage. And there's a game to play, and it's better to want it and not need it.
Yeah, the idea of confidence, you've got the Southern charm, there's no question, and I'm sure you have a certain level of awareness about that. You know, one thing that I find so interesting about actors is they're so good at conveying emotion. They understand how they're coming across. And that level of self-awareness is obviously part of their power. When you think about developing self-awareness and translating that into confidence, is that tied to how much preparation you do? How do you begin to, in your early 20s, have the kind of confidence where you can walk in with a bit of swagger, not need it, and captivate people like that?
I feel like self-consciousness is the enemy of most authentic artistic expression. Like if I'm thinking about what other people are going to think about this, that's when I do something that sucks. That's when I pull my punches or I make it awkward or weird. You kind of have to be free-flowing in the moment about it.
All right, so if self-conscious is being, could we say that's being objective? You hop out and you hop into your eye in the sky and you have a look down at yourself in the third person. How am I doing? How does this translate? How is it?
I think I would say being objective is positive. Self-consciousness to me has an element of kind of shame to it. You're like anticipating what other people are going to think, and you're looking at how awkward you are. Feeling.
If you don't get hung up in that objective too long, I think it's important. I think the subjective is the place, the home base.
Yeah.
Start at, and if you're confident enough at that, you can hop to the objective and say, how am I looking?
Yeah.
Without getting self-conscious, just to see the landscape, because I'm here, I'm a solo man, but I've hopped out to have a look. What's the landscape? Oh yeah, it still looks smooth up there. There's no cliffs.
Sure.
If your head's down, you don't run off it. It looks like, it looks like I'm doing what I intended to do.
Yeah.
Oh, it actually looks like it's getting received as I was hoping it would be received. But you got to hop back.
Yes.
And you can get back into the subjective, because you can get caught looking at the jumbotron of your life.
Yes.
In golf, any golfers out there, I bet you would tell you, my best rounds were when I walked off the 18th green and didn't know it was my last hole.
Yes, because you were
because I was headed to the next.
Yeah, right. If you're aware that you are playing your best game ever as you're playing it, that's when you fuck it up.
That's when you bogey the 17th.
Yeah,
and bogey and three putt the 18th to lose by one. It's choking at the finish line. It's realizing. You and I've talked about that before. I'd had those immortal finish lines that just go, and as long as you trust that it's being recorded, and that the strokes are played, and yes, I counted my strokes right on that hole, and I signed it. Let me find out how many under I was or how I played after I'm done. Come tell me. The proof's there.
Yeah.
But if I see it coming and I see that end zone coming, what do we do?
Yeah.
Get a little tight, a little self-conscious. Do I deserve to be here? I think I'm doing really good.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you're out of the moment. Your body's not behaving. You're not performing the act that you've just been naturally performing one at a time, one in a row, every moment, every day.
Like, it is weird that we all are totally unique, have unique DNA, would never exist before again. And then we're like, well, what's everyone else doing? I should do that.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, there is something there's something kind of sad about the way we deliberately mute our colors or mimic other people's colors.
Yeah, but it's wise, I think, to understand the machinations of how populace works, how being in with the group works, to understand the rules of each game, knowing your zone and still being able to be yourself, or still being yourself if you're playing a role to get what you want. It's like the Dylan thing. He was like, what is it? Like, no, don't go. I don't know what all this be yourself's about, man. It's like, you are what you create, man. We're all our creations. That's a form of being yourself by going, I'm a new creation every day.
Yeah, totally.
Which
you are.
Right. If you want to be,
Yeah.
Whatever part that is you're playing. But it's the best ones you don't see them playing a part. Like going back to acting.
Yeah.
In real life or in acting.
Yeah.
You don't see or athletics. You don't see the work. You don't see there's a tell. Oh, I saw him do a thing. He played an attitude. He didn't play himself. You don't see those things. It's seamless. And that way, that person is kind of, in a way, everything to everybody, or almost everything to everybody.
Well, to me, it's like, do you want to be the actor that gets the parts that Matthew McConaughey turns down? Or do you want to get the parts that they're offering to you because they want you? You know, it's like, it's better to be a category of one, to be a monopoly of yourself. But most of us go, I don't know, I'd rather just kind of get somebody else's leftovers.
Right. And sometimes those leftovers are damn worth getting. But I hear you. When you are, when you're living and you feel like you're one of one.
Yeah, you want to be the first person they ask because that's what they wanted, not like the third, fourth, fifth, unlimited. But there's something safer about it, right? It's like it's safer in one sense, but the ceiling is capped.
Now, why do you pursue things that scare you? Why seek the role that's hard?
Because it costs me something. Because it costs. It comes with a price. It's a bit of that line, don't pick a fight. It's not really a fight unless you can lose it. It's not really, it's not really a risk unless you can lose the fight. I feel more alive in them. I have an experience in the making of them. I'm nervous every day I come to work. I feel like when I nail a day and I knock it and I know I did, I feel like, yes, I have a measure at the end of the day of like, you set out to do something, you prepared for it, you had intention, and you did it. And maybe even found some magic in the day. That I sleep good knowing that I accomplished that day in building the architecture of a character's arc through a story. And then if I could put the whole thing together and it comes out, one whole performance turns out to be a beautiful song, an original song of that character, then I'm like, yes. And I know that I was highly responsible for that. I was not solely responsible, but the most responsible for that. And that gives me pleasure. That gives me gratification. That makes me gives me significance. That gives me confidence. If I don't pull it off, and I do have a day where I'm like, no, you didn't ever, and it was my fault. I would rather, with these kind of roles, I can look in the mirror and go, so guess who's responsible for not pulling it off? You, McConaughey. In the same way, when I go, guess who's responsible for pulling it off? I like knowing who. We remember the stuff we earn, the stuff we experience, more than what the teacher tells us or what someone gives us for free. We just do. We broke a proverbial sweat on it, whether it was mental or physical or whatever. We built it. We understand. We felt how we got it, how we achieved it, how we got what we wanted. Those stick with us. Whether we forget them intellectually, they were written in our lineage, and they build resilience, and they build a healthy, true optimism going forward to know that, oh no, I've worked for something before and achieved it. Delayed gratification. Oh, there are choices I can make today for myself that will pay me back later in life. Mailbox money, as we call it in the entertainment industry. ROI. There are specific personal choices we can make, and they're worth considering. Look, I'm all for hedonism. I'm all for immediate gratification too. Sometimes it's like, yes, dude, it's Halloween. Eat all the candy you want. Go for it. It's not going to become a habit day to day. There's certain nights where you're like, hey guys, tonight we're going to blow it out. The walls are padded and we got nothing. We're off work on Monday. Let's go. I mean, certain times to say that's okay. But there's, where is the selfish choice, the selfless choice? Where is what we want actually what we need? Where is what we need actually what we want? Responsibility of freedom and the freedom in responsibility. Life's more than just straight Saturdays with as much cake as you want to eat. It just is. You will see how long you last doing that if you really do it. You won't last that long. Responsibility is appreciation of a past. It's building of a lineage. It's investing in ourselves. It's investing in something we started to build yesterday that we want to take into tomorrow. There's a response that gives us freedom. So to actually have true freedom, we have to be responsible, more responsible for certain things, for ourselves, who we are, constantly investigating and interrogating our better selves to say, I'm going to be a little bit better at this tomorrow, knowing that we never land. There's no ta-da moment. And that is one thing I think we all got to watch, because we all are so result oriented. Oh, if I keep doing this, I'm going to get to that place of pure enlightenment. I'm going to go, ta-da! Bullshit. No, you don't. Can it be a small ascension of evolution? Yes. But there's no ta-da moment. We're always chasing yet. And if we can get comfortable and understand and laugh at and be ready to work hard at the fact that we're all just, if we could just say, we're all just achieving our way to the unachievable. And that's as good as it gets. And that's pretty damn awesome. That's the honey hole.
Oh, if everything's significant, there's no significance at all, man. Some shit's just like, I don't have the capacity to deal with it, or I don't really care. It's just how it is. Some of the inevitables, And sometimes you got to let those ride. I'm going to deal with that now. I'm going to deal with what I can deal with. I get the mental meditations on that. And I listen to myself back, and I'm like going, whoa, you need to get some sleep. You need to have a drink. You need to relax.
What's the difference between a nice guy and a good man?
I was that time when I was doing the rom-coms, and that's all I could do. I was feeling like my work was just me as a nice guy. And in life, I was not just a nice guy. Like I said, Camilla was pregnant. I got a child coming. I was feral with masculinity. And in my work, maybe I was feeling a bit neutered. And I was like, a good guy and a good man in life, but I'm just a nice guy at work. Can I be roles that can be a good man? And that was dramas. Because in dramas, you can stand against something. Your ceiling for pleasure and your basement for pain are up to you. How do you feel about it? And no direction can go, that's too much, or that's not enough. You got too angry there. Oh, you meant that too much. That didn't come in a drama. Those come in a rom-com, right? Because the emotions and how you feel are compressed to be in a buoyant level and a threshold that's up bouncing from cloud to cloud only. Dramas are as much pain, as much evil as you want to go, as deep, dark you want to go. Get there. Let's see how far you go. How high you want to fly. How close to that sun you get before you get burned. Go. Let's see how far you go. That's what you get in a drama. Much more like real life. Being a good man's a lot harder. For good reason. You're not going to be most popular. You're not going to be always most affable. It also doesn't mean you got to be a dick or an asshole. It just means sometimes you're going to go, I believe in this is for me, and that is not for me. And because that is not for me, if you do trespass into my space upon me and my family, I will do my best to cause consequences. And I'm going to let you know that. I'm not going to intrude on you, but if you trespass that, I'm going to stand up for it. And that, we can talk our way out of that, great. No, it doesn't always work that way. You know, a good man's not looking for trouble, but if it comes, and if he or something he cares about and loves were susceptible to being trespassed on by trouble, a good man does what he can to do to stop that. A truly masculine man is not macho. It's not chauvinist. But he's damn sure masculine. Most masculine I've ever felt. After the birth of my first child. Never were my head, heart, and loins in such synchronicity, and the power that I had it's probably the best husband ever at that time too. Men want to be, and I don't know if this is biological because I'm not saying women don't, but men want to and are looking for ways to be relied upon. And so we say, yeah, but you always want to be the savior and you always want the solution. Okay, cool. There's nothing wrong with wanting to find the solution to things. Great, let's work with that. Thank you, women, for saying, glad you got the solution, but just listen to me for a second longer because I'm not looking for a solution. Actually, I just want to talk this out and I'll probably answer my own question. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean don't be the male side of you that wants to find the solution or wants to be relied upon in the pursuit of it. Are we measuring quality of life along the way? Some people aren't. And I personally don't want to have the highest number, but then go, well, that wasn't any fun, or I didn't enjoy that, or that sucked. I'm just trying to remind everyone that just like in business, when I say success without the profit, we have plenty of people that succeed. If you got the most money, the most toys, you succeed. And we talked about those people earlier that have, at the end of the day, have problems with their relationships or they can't sleep. They didn't profit. They're not profiting with their success. Profit measures quality with the quantity. So I'm saying real success is when you have profit. Well, really great longevity would be for those quality years. Quality time left in this life. I also say that because while I'm not looking forward to it, I'm not really afraid of death or dying. I'm not looking forward to it. I'm shaking my boots if I'm face to face with that great white. You know what I mean? I'm not looking forward to it, but I see it as obviously it's inevitable, and obviously I personally see it as hopefully a comma, you know, not a period. So I do think inevitably you might be, if you're so obsessed with the projection length, that you're going to miss a couple of really, really worthwhile parties now where you may learn something, have the great love of life, take a certain risk that, you may not make it out of that, but we're going to do it anyway. And I'm all for projection. It's a lot of what it's a lot of my jam. How far can we project in the future? Boy, the further we can project, the further I think we can see in the past. The more we have the ability to invest in ourselves today to get that more ROI tomorrow. I just think an obsession with the number can sometimes get in the way of seeing more of an obsession with the quality and the meaning of what we're doing right here, what's now and tomorrow.